This is 7:30 Tea with Ree.
So I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally stranded in a flooding canal.
He's like, oh, I hope you don't mind. I invited my friends.
When he pulls up to pick me up, he's in a weird-looking van.
Ree is spilling all the tea. Hello, everybody, and welcome to 7:30 Tea with Ree. How are you guys all doing today? I am currently filming everything. When I say that, I mean I'm recording on my microphone is here. My voice is probably going to come out bigger to you guys who are listening on just Apple and Spotify, but I am actually recording in front of the camera on YouTube for the first time ever, which I'm not used to. Like, the last time I tried doing YouTube was maybe back in 2019, so I'm like so nervous about like messing up. It's different for me. It's different for me right now. I'm a little camera shy, but I'm sure I'll probably get over that. I'm trying to get more comfortable in front of the camera. I also keep forgetting to look directly into the lens at you guys. I keep looking because I have one of those vlogging cameras that you flip out to the side and you can see yourself. So that's what I'm doing. But for those of you who are just listening, I will be recording a YouTube video while talking to you guys and while also doing my makeup. And because I am nervous about messing up, I do have my iPad in front of me with a little bit of some script. But it's not anything too crazy of script because I don't do like a full-blown script anymore. I kind of just have like my little spiel when I'm doing my little advertisement, and then I've got like the actual stories that are written down that people sent in. And one of the stories I'm doing today is also going to be one of my own, so that's also nerve-wracking because I'm like, you guys are just gonna like see me go off on a tangent, like visually, like not just audibly. So it's just gonna be interesting. Aside from me recording this and everything like that, I'm doing pretty well. I actually have a job interview and it's gonna be on Tuesday, so like everybody, fingers crossed. I'm excited. I hope it goes well because I'd really like to get to another job, try another job, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's that. I'm also excited though because John and I just booked a trip. Well, we didn't book the flights yet, but we booked the stay because my dad has this timeshare thing that he pays for and he has a lot of points. So my dad was nice enough to let us use the points. So we're going to be using the points. Well, we booked it and everything. John paid for it and all that. And we're going to be going to Hollywood Beach in Florida. So I'm hyped for that. I've never been to Hollywood Beach. I've been to Florida a bunch of times, but I've usually just gone to Orlando or Miami. So I'm definitely really excited to go. I also just realized midway through this video / podcast recording that I didn't even start doing my makeup, so let me start doing that. I actually am going out tonight, so this is actually a fully like getting ready with me. It's for my sister Jazz's birthday. Her birthday's Sunday, but we're gonna be going out tonight to this club in Queens. I think it's called the Underground Club or something like that. I don't know. I don't go out a crazy amount, which is, it probably sounds funny to you guys because it probably seems like I do based off of like what kind of stuff I'm like, oh my god, like I'm going out here and I'm going that you guys are probably like, I feel like you go out, but it doesn't feel like I do, but maybe lately I have. In the last few months I feel like I've been like out, like outside. So yeah, but that's what we're doing tonight. So I am excited for that. But I also kind of hope we get back early because I don't like to be out for too long. I get tired after a certain amount of time, and it's not like I can control that. If I could, you know, I would control that, but I really can't. I just can't help myself. It's almost like I'm already 30. It's like I'm already 30 because I get tired so fast, so soon, and I just can't help myself. I really can't. I also hope that's like not offensive to 30-year-olds or anything like that. Like, I'm just going based off of my sister Jazz, like the one whose birthday it is. Like, she's in her 30s. I'm not gonna say her age because that's her business, and she doesn't always like to tell it. I don't know why. It doesn't matter. But no, she always gets tired earlier, and she always blames it on being in her 30s. So I feel like I'm definitely gonna get tired sooner when I'm in my 30s too. I'm already getting tired, and I'm 24, so it's like, how am I gonna be in my 30s, you know? By the way, I'm so sorry for those of you who are watching on YouTube that I just did my brows off camera, but like I just needed the extra, what is the word? Focus. I needed the extra focus. Plus, there's a lot of noises going on in my house right now. My dog's barking, the phone is ringing, everyone's home. It's just a mess. You guys see why sometimes it's a little hard, like why sometimes they film on certain mics, or I'm like in my car or this, that. Like, I cannot get a minute of peace and quiet in this house. And you guys are probably like, what are you gonna get right now? No, barely. Like, there's so much noise going on downstairs. Like, it's a good thing these microphones are like mostly good, because other than that, I really wouldn't get that much peace and quiet for these. Like, it's so hard to find a good, like, space and time to get it done. Also, if you guys hear me sniffling a lot right now, it's because I think I might have, like, a little bit of a cold. I don't know if it's just allergies, but, like, I think it might be a little bit of maybe a chest cold or something like that, because there's got to be something going around. I mean, it makes sense. It's spring season, so maybe it's like flu season or something. But I had a little bit of a cold when we first transitioned into spring season, and now it's just, I guess it came back because my throat is sore, and I'm just waiting for it to go away. It's not super duper sore. I'm not like dying, but I had a whole bunch of cough drops last night and this morning. And it's like slowly going away. I even had like a cup of tea before bed. So I'm just hoping it goes away fast, whatever this is, whether it's allergy-induced sickness. I have no fucking idea. I have no idea what this is. But all I know is it literally sucks. Literally actually sucks. But I'm sorry I'm sniffling, guys. Anyways, aside from that though, I'm excited for today's episode because I have not done like a set of 3 stories in a little bit. Minus, I mean, I guess you could include like my Spike Tea with Ree, like that was 3 stories. But I'm talking about like ones where people like send it in. Like I haven't done that in a little bit. And every time it's been like time passed like that, because I know I do it in a set way anyways, but anytime time passes by, I'm just like, I haven't done this in forever, and then I miss it, and I'm like, it's gonna be back anyways, like, what's wrong with me? But whatever. I also need more audio messages sent in. I feel like people are so comfortable sending in their written stories, but I really need more audio message stories. Like, I would love those. I would absolutely love and adore those. So don't be shy, like send in some audio message stories because it definitely adds more personality to this pod. So don't be shy, y'all. Anyways, without further ado, we're going to be getting into today's stories. But before we get into that, I am going to remind you all what this podcast is about, and in case you're new here, also kind of tell you what this is about, because you're probably here, like, confused, like, why did I click on this video? Why did I click on this audio? Like, what am I listening to? What is this podcast even about? So, if you guys are watching me on YouTube, you're going to see me read from my iPad, so, whatever. But if you're new here, I'm very happy that you're here. This podcast is all about spilling tea and sharing your deepest, darkest secrets. So if you have any tea to spill, DM me on Instagram at 730tea with Ree. And you spell that 730 TEAWITHRIE. Or you can DM me on my main Instagram account at Rihanna Flores. And you spell that RIEANNAFLORES. And if you wish to be anonymous, please let me know. Your story should be up to 500 words or less. And if you want to send an audio voice message in instead of typing out your story, just please keep it up to 5 minutes max. Thank you. Wow, that's kind of crazy. I memorized some of it, like, not all of it, but like, oh my god, that's so good, you guys. Oh, also, you guys got to see me say that on, like, visually on camera for the first time ever, so that feels like, whew, you guys are, like, seeing me. I don't know. I'm anxious right now, but I'm happy. Anyways, now I just did my little spiel, my actual intro, so now we can really actually get into the stories. And these are gonna be, like, more real reactions because I kind of skimmed through two of the stories that I'm sharing today. So, yeah. Because I'm sharing 2 listener stories, and then 1 is gonna be my own. But yeah, you're gonna have my full reaction, which is just wild. I feel like I'm being analyzed, so I'm like, ah! Anyways, we're gonna read the first one. So this one says, he threatened my hookup with a rifle. That's the name of it. Okay, so it says, so when I was 21, I was going through a major hoe phase. And let me preface this story by saying I'm a sucker for an accent. One night, my roommates and I were out for some drinks, and I was complaining about a guy that I was having a situationship with to my friend, and she suggested drunkenly that I hook up with someone. So I pull up Tinder on my phone and got to swiping. We came across an Aussie man that goes to a college near me, and I invited him over for a nightcap. We'll name him Henry, as I don't remember his name. I gave Henry my address and a time to come over. I told my roommate's boyfriend, who also lived with us, that he was coming. My roommate's boyfriend at the time loved hunting and also was in the military. This is important for the story. A few hours go by and we're all fairly drunk. As soon as we get home, we all crash in our rooms immediately. About 3 hours later, it is now 2 a.m. Henry shows up to my house via Uber and starts banging on our door with a knock that I can describe as a cop knock. That's weird. The only people that wake up are my roommate and her boyfriend. We didn't live in the greatest area, so my roommate's boyfriend thought it was a crazy person trying to break in. He grabbed his rifle, walked over to the door, and pointed it at the closed door, yelling out, "If you don't leave, I'm shooting you where you stand." Henry takes off running. It was then that I woke up, but not because of what was happening, but because I felt sick and needed to vomit. My roommate's boyfriend remembered that I was supposed to have someone over, so he they spelled this wrong. So he walked over to the bathroom and asked me about him. To which I responded, "Oh fuck." I start texting, calling Henry profusely apologizing, offering to order him an Uber, and Henry lost his shit on me. He told me that I owed him sex and that he would never go through that again. I apologized again, but I told him that I did not owe him anything but perhaps an Uber home. As far as I know, he walked home, and we never spoke or saw each other ever again. Whew, okay, so let's analyze this, because this is kind of crazy. So I'm gonna be like looking through my iPad again. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna be like scanning through this thing, kind of going through each part, analyzing it. So, you know, okay, super slay for you that you were going through your little hoe phase. I think everybody deserves a hoe phase. I too am also a sucker for an accent. Accents are just like immediately hot, immediately slay. Like an accent, oh my god, like especially a British accent, like Harry Styles, girl, absolutely. But I also will say though, it's probably like you're probably better off that he didn't come inside and stuff like that, because you guys had just met and you invited him in for a nightcap. Not that I'm judging either, because when I was in college, like, oh my god, I had a hoe phase for sure. Like, my sophomore year of college was for sure my hoe phase, because I was like newly single, so I would match with people on Tinder too and have them over and stuff like that, like, easily, which wasn't smart on my part, and I kind of wish I didn't do as much of that back then, because I feel like some of it, like, yeah, I had fun, but I kind of wasted my time. Like, some people definitely didn't deserve, like, a certain part of me. So, yeah, but it's a little, it's dangerous. It's definitely a dangerous option. But, I mean, hey, at least you didn't have to deal with Henry after all, because your roommate's boyfriend scared him off with the rifle. Which also, might I add, I think it's so super crazy that he, like, tried to suggest that you owed him sex. Like, you owed him sex. Like, you did not owe him anything. You guys just met. The fact that he tried to say that you owed him sex because of that incident, like, look, I understand, like, I would be scared as fuck after someone threatened a rifle on me, you know? Like, that's obviously not, like, the most normal scenario, but to say that someone owes you sex because of it is just so fucking wrong. And you're supposed to be a gentleman, you're supposed to be a man, like, what the fuck? Like, never say that to a girl. And also, same goes for girls. Like, never say that to a guy that, like, oh, you owe me sex. Like, no, nobody owes you, like, their body. You know? They can do whatever they want with their body. You're not entitled to their body. So, I just thought that was crazy wild. And clearly you know that. And it's good that you told him that and put him in his place for that. Because he should know better. He should know better. So that's my take on that. That is my opinion on that. I also wonder if he ever got an Uber ride home or not, or if he really did just walk home in, like you said, it was like a sus neighborhood. I hope Henry got back home, and I hope he doesn't expect people to just give him sex anymore. So yeah, that's my take on it. Anyways, yeah. We're gonna get into the next story of the day. By the way, if you guys hear a slight audio change, it's because I am recording this the next day. So if you were watching the YouTube video, then you'll know that I definitely did the next day, because in the YouTube version, I only did one story instead. So just a heads up. But I will probably take a little bit longer to edit the YouTube video. So that's also a heads up. Anyways, we're gonna get into the next story. So this story is actually my story, and I've only shared this one on TikTok. I've never shared it on here, which I'm kind of a little bit hyped for, but also slight nervous, because I kind of hope the person who it's, like, about does not listen to this, because I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. Either way, it's gonna be, like, made anonymous. Like, I'm not gonna use this person's name. But, you know, if there's anyone who knows me, you might know who this is. But yeah, so this story is called "She Fought Me for Gas Station Cotton Candy That Her Boyfriend Bought Her." Okay, so this is actually a roommate story, and I figured that fit the theme with today's stories that were kind of sent in, because it had an ongoing kind of roommate vibe. Like, even the last story that I'm going to tell you guys is a little bit of a roommate vibe. So this one, though, is about a girl that I had roomed with my sophomore year of college. And we did not do random necessarily. I think we had met through, like, mutual friends type of thing, something like that. But we ended up being roommates, right? And when we were roommates, like, we were really excited. Like, we were honestly really best friends. Like, we were very, very close. We got close very fast. And things were going good until I had met her boyfriend. I noticed she started acting really differently around him. Every single time she would invite him over, she would just act really, really different. Every single time, like, she would act bitchy towards me or mean or try to put me down in front of him. Now, usually I feel like when girls tend to act like that, when they act bitchy towards their girl best friends or whatever, in front of their boyfriends, I feel like it's because they don't trust their partner. Like, maybe they think their partner has a wandering eye, or maybe they want to seem like they're strong and confident in front of their man. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why that would be the way to come across that way, but, like, maybe they want to come across as like, oh, I'm such, like, a strong, assertive woman. Like, look at me having all of this I guess, dominance over another woman. It's so weird. I don't know how to explain this, but if you are a girl, you probably get what I'm trying to say. Guys, I feel like, don't get this as well as girls do. I feel like girls are easier to pick up on certain things that women do because, you're a girl. You grow up in girl world, so you know how it is. But this girl, she had also been cheated on before by that same boyfriend. They were together for 4 years around that point, and he had cheated on her 2 years into the relationship. So imagine being together for 4 years, they cheat on you 2 years in, so you're with them for the other 2 years. You're always going to have that memory of that they cheated. That feeling of trust, distrust doesn't entirely go away. Even me, I've been cheated on before, and I still will get anxious even in future relationships. So imagine being with the same person that you were cheated on by. So I honestly feel like that is part of why she would get bitchy towards me, is because she probably felt threatened, or she had to put up some weird self-defense mechanism towards me. And I feel like when girls do it towards the girls, it means that they usually want to blame things on another girl before things even happen. And it means that they don't trust their partner. So they're trying to make a woman feel bad about themselves or look bad in front of their man so that their man wouldn't look at them. So I hope that made sense, but that is my psychoanalyzation of that. That's how I view that. So yeah, anyways, back to the story. So yeah, that was the gist of how she was. So there was this one specific day that was really kind of crazy, something that she did, and it was something so stupid. So I remember her boyfriend had come over for the weekend, and we were all hanging out the whole weekend, whatever. Mind you guys, I do have a lot of stories in this. I will just add in there plenty. But he came over this one weekend, and she was acting bitchy towards me. She was acting weird. She was trying to put me down in front of him and all that. And I was just kind of whatever, I'll just let her do her thing. Not that I didn't stick up for myself at all, but I just was understanding, not understanding in the way of oh, let me go and accept this, but more of understanding in the sense of I get why she's doing this. It's because of her own insecurity, and it has nothing to do with me. It's everything to do with how she feels in her own relationship. So her and her man went across the street to the gas station because we lived in this dorm that was kind of off campus, and it was right across the street from this gas station. And it was a popular gas station to go to. Everyone would just buy little candies there. So she went across the street with her man, and I guess they splurged at the gas station. And I'm laughing because she made the biggest deal about it when she got back. She was yeah, my man bought me candy, and all this stuff, and making a big deal. And I think he probably didn't get her stuff that often because she used to try and act like she didn't want flowers. She used to try and act like she hated flowers. She doesn't like to get gifts and stuff like that. But then she would show me cute posts with oh, look at what this guy did for her, blah, blah, blah. So it's I think she actually did like it, but I think she would pretend that she didn't care for those things because she knew that her man wouldn't do those things for her. That's honestly what it was. That's my actual personal take on it. And I think I'm definitely right on a lot of the things. I saw everything, but she was bragging like hell about how her man splurged on her at the gas station. And so she got cotton candy, she got some little snacks or whatever, and she was eating her cotton candy, and he was hanging out with all of us. And so it was me, her, and her man all hanging out in the dorm. And I'm oh, I love cotton candy. Can I have a little bit? And she was no. She started being mean about it. She was telling me I couldn't have her cotton candy. And her boyfriend was like, oh, like, well, you don't have to do that to her. Like, why don't you just let her have the cotton candy? And she's like, well, you bought it for me. So, like, why would it be for her? Like, it should be for me. Like, why would you want to share it with another girl? Type of thing. It was so stupid, you guys. I swear this really happened. And so, freaking, she's making the biggest deal out of him giving me cotton candy, right? And I just was like, whatever, like, it's fucking cotton candy from the gas station, like, who really cares, you know? And so when she wasn't looking, her man actually took the cotton candy out of the bag, like a little piece or whatever, and he, like, tried to sneak it to me, and she saw, and she started fighting him for the cotton candy. And we thought she was joking. Like, we literally thought she was joking. And so when he handed it to me or whatever, while we're all running around joking around, or I think we're joking, like, I take it from his hand and I eat it. And she gets immediately mad that I ate her cotton candy. Like, it was so crazy and stupid, bro. It was ridiculous. So she got so mad because she was like, wow, I can't believe my man gave another girl cotton candy that he bought me from the gas station. Like, she was so mad. It was crazy. And so, freaking, they fought. They had an argument over it or whatever, and then she, like, stormed out to go take a shower and made him, like, wait on the couch till she was done. And he was, like, complaining about it to me, and it was awkward for me because, like, why would I want to be in the middle of that? Because in my mind, I'm like, well, that's my roommate and my friend, so I have to, like, have her back, but also I'm, like, understanding towards his side because that is a stupid argument to have. Like, it's fucking cotton candy. And so he was like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna go. Like, I'm just gonna go and take an Uber home. Like, you tell her that I'm going, right? So this was crazy. And so he just, like, literally started packing all his shit, and he literally did order an Uber, and she came out at right timing because she, like, had just got out of the shower, and she, like, asked me, she didn't even apologize to me, by the way. She didn't even apologize to me. I wasn't even, like, a concern to her. She was like to me, do you know where he went? And I was like, oh, he's leaving. And, like, in my mind, I kind of said it in a little bit of a petty way because I'm like, this was a stupid argument to begin with. So it was kind of like, yeah, karma, bitch. So I was like, yeah, he's leaving. And she fucking got so mad. I've never seen someone throw clothes on so fast. She threw on her clothes so fast and, like, ran down the hallway yelling at him because he was, like, waiting for the Uber by the apartment door or whatever. Like, you know when apartments have, like, the long hallways and then there's that other door to exit? So he was in, like, that area, like, waiting in the little lobby thing or whatever. And so she's cussing. You can literally hear them yelling down the whole hallway. Like, everybody could hear. So all I hear is her arguing about the cotton candy and then him deciding to leave and all this stuff. And so she got him to stay and he canceled the Uber, right? And so they stormed into the fucking dorm room, and I was in, like, the common room area, like the little living room space, because it was one of those dorm room things where it wasn't like a whole big suite. It was more of like an apartment style. So it was like our room that we shared and bunked in or whatever, and then we had the kitchenette and the couch area, the living room area, whatever. So I hung out in the little living room area while I'm hearing them argue or whatever, and I figured they would be a while. So I hit up one of my friends. I was like, girl, can we hang out? Because I'm feeling real uncomfortable right now. So I went to that friend's house, and I kind of bitched to her about what was going on. Not in a shady way, but, like, I just needed to talk to someone because I was just like, I don't even know if I feel comfortable going back. Like, this is uncomfy. She's not acting like a friend. She's being fucking weird towards me. So, yeah, whatever. I had let my feelings out, whatever. And so I finally, like, maybe a few hours later, I go back to the dorm, and when I come back, she just starts sobbing in my arms, and she's like, I'm so sorry that I was, like, mean to you before. Of course you can have cotton candy. She was so weird. It was so fucking dumb. So yeah, that's what happened. That is what happened. Like I said, I have way more stories on this person because she was a really toxic friend, like, honestly. And our friendship had ended, like, I think my senior year of college, and I'm really glad it had ended. It ended like the beginning of senior year. And, you know, thankfully so. Like, I was better off without her. And I ended up making another new really good friend and had another brand new roommate at the end of senior year. And she ended up being like my best friend for life. So that's a really good thing. Like, I ended up gaining a completely new best friend who was a real friend and like inspires me and is confident and radiant. And, you know, she's someone I look up to and trust. So, see, things work out the way they're supposed to. Things happen for a reason, so it's a good thing that friendship ended so that I could have a different friendship that would blossom in a whole other way and really add to my growth period as a woman. So, yeah, that's my story. If you want to know more stories on that roommate situation, I've got plenty, and I will probably be spilling more because that one's a loaded topic. But yeah. Anyways, we're gonna be getting into the last and final story of the day, and this one was a written in story. This was actually written in the coffee shop, and I was like, I think, because it was so long, it was one of the ones written in like my anonymous book. And usually that one's for like mini stories, but they wrote like a story. So I was like, I will include that in like an episode like this. So yeah, I'm gonna read it. So this one is called Our Roommate Spread Lies About Us and Kept Rotten Food in the Fridge. So this one was definitely crazy because I remember the girls who came into the coffee shop and wrote this down, like, they had some wild stories. So I'm hyped to read this, so let's give it a read. So it says, we used to live in a house with our sorority sisters. One of our roommates in the beginning was super fun and nice. We got super close with her. About 6 months in, we found out she would make up elaborate stories about us that were untrue. For example, we had another roommate move in, and she told them how we would steal her stuff and that we were mean to her. We had decorated the house and took her out for her birthday the month prior, and she told the new roommate that we pretty much didn't say happy birthday or do anything for her or acknowledge her on her birthday. She would tell her friends that we bullied her, but then she would come home and yell at us and be mean for no reason. She would also meet random men and bring them to our house in the middle of the night. Keep in mind, we are 4 girls living alone. We once had a terrible smell in the house, so we checked all our rooms and found boxes of different types of food that rotted. She made a new group of friends and would tell them these stories that were completely outrageous and complete lies, and we told them they were all lies, and all the stuff she said that we did is stuff that she actually did to us. Her friends slowly started to realize the lies and confronted her and dropped her. Me and my roommates finally had enough and told her off and said we know all the horrible lies you made up about us and cut her off completely. In conclusion, she was terrible. This isn't even a fraction of the stuff that she did. Alright, y'all. That's crazy. I can't. No, because I actually, if there's anything that's my pet peeve, it's someone lying about my character. Like, I can't even imagine. This would actually really piss me off because it's the fact that she fucking lied to everybody and claimed that you guys did all of the things that she actually did. Like, completely lied. I feel like for someone to do that, like, you have to be a really manipulative, fucked up person in the head, because you're doing that with really not feeling much guilt, you know? Because you guys mentioned that she made like a whole other friend group too and still continued to lie, and there's also no reason behind it either, because you guys, you know, did nice things for her. You guys tried to celebrate her birthday, took her out, decorated for her and everything. Like, she had no reason to lie. Like, there was absolutely no reason. Like, she just started doing this all on her own. It sounds to me like she's the type of person that likes a lot of attention. That's what it seems like. I don't understand it, though, because it's like you guys were giving her the attention by being nice to her and being friendly towards her. I don't know why she felt the need to, like, make a whole friend group and spread all of these weird rumors and lies about you guys when she was already, like, in a friend group that was giving her attention and stuff like that. That's just so weird. That is so weird. I'm like, I can't even wrap my head around why people just do shit like that. She just sounds super, super manipulative and super, I don't know, she's just like a compulsive liar. She's just a compulsive liar is what it sounds like, because she completely just took all of, like, the terrible things that she did and made it seem like you guys did all of that shit to her. And to also, like, talk about it in depth, too, with other people, like, in detail is even crazier. Because, you know, sometimes maybe you go to a party or you meet someone new and they're, like, really talking. Like, this kind of story makes me question how people are. It honestly does, because sometimes you meet people and you feel like they're really genuine and they're, like, telling the story in detail and you're like, wow, I can't believe that happened to you. That's so crazy. Now this kind of story makes me question if everyone's telling the truth. Like, this makes me have trust issues, because there's people that will just full on lie like that. But sometimes I feel like you can see a little bit through someone's lies, but I feel like it really depends. Like, you have to be very observant to know whether or not someone's a full-blown compulsive liar. And I feel like sometimes you can see certain hints. Like, if you see that someone looks to the left side a lot, they're probably lying a little bit. Unless you're just, like, a nervous talker, maybe. But people who, like, stumble on their words, or maybe their stories don't add up, I'm just like, you can kind of tell when they're lying. But if it's to a point where, like, they're telling the exact same story and they've rehearsed it, and they're lying, that's when it starts to scare me, because it's like you sat there and rehearsed how to continue your lie, how to make sure you didn't get caught in your lie. This whole story is just fucking creepy to me, honestly. It's creepy because she just kept it going. I'm glad that you guys told her new friend group, though, and that they at least caught onto it so that they didn't have to deal with her and they called her out in it. And I'm glad you guys also put her in her place too, because it sounds like she needed a lot of humbling, and I feel like you guys definitely did that for her. I'm also curious to know more stories, because you guys actually mentioned that this isn't even like a fraction of the stuff that she did, so I'm kind of curious to know more of, like, what else happened. If those were, like, the big parts, like, what else happened, you know? But, oh my god, roommates can be really fucking annoying. I have definitely had my fair share of a bunch of crazy rooming experiences. I've had so many wild ones. The best roommate I've ever had was my roommate towards the end of senior year. She is the absolute best. Absolutely love her. Shout out to Janelle. Love you, girl. But, oh my god. And let's also go back to the part where you said she would bring random men home in the middle of the night and stuff like that, too. Okay, that, I feel like I would sound hypocritical saying that that's crazy, because I've done that before. But we've all had, like, our little hoe phases and stuff. But I'm not saying it's right. It's something that really isn't the smartest to do at all. Just because it really can be dangerous to people. I wish I thought more into that back when I was in college. I feel like I was reckless like that too, so it's something, like, when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, that is actually really wrong. Like, you shouldn't do that, because people are crazy these days. You never know what a guy's capable of. Like, you really never know. Also, the part where you mentioned, the terrible smell in the house and finding boxes of rotten food is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It sucks that you guys had to, like, clean up after her mess. Literally and figuratively. Did I say that right? Figuratively. There we go. like, you guys had to clean up after her actual mess in the house, and then you had to clean up all of the fucking lies that she created. Ew. She sounds absolutely awful. I am glad you guys set her straight, and that was probably her karma. Maybe there's more karma coming, whether that's good or bad. I just hope that she maybe took something away from it, that she got humbled or felt humbled and learned something from it. I wonder where she is now. I hope that she's doing better, because it really is a skill to lie like that consistently, you know? So yeah, I hope she learned. I really do. But thank you so much for sharing that story, because that's fucking a crazy story. I can't even imagine what it was like to live through that. Anyways, thank you everybody who shared their stories. I definitely enjoyed reading all of these to you guys, as I always do. But we are going to be closing out with our sound healing session, so let's sit back, lie down, relax, shut your eyes, take a deep breath in from your nose and out from your mouth, and I'm going to play. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. It always means the absolute most to me. If you were new here and you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you come back. And if you have been here this whole time, thank you again as well. And you should also make sure, if you haven't done it yet, make sure to like and subscribe and follow and all that. Just follow all my socials, check everything out. I'm on Apple and Spotify and also YouTube. So go check everything out right now. And yeah, I hope you guys all have the bestest week ever. And I love you guys all so much. Goodbye.